Hello everyone, I'm Jay Nagaswara, School Assistant in English. First of all, I would like to extend my warm greetings to all the teachers on the occasion of the Teachers' Day. In the previous video, we have discussed how to use the indefinite article a or an. In today's video, we shall discuss how to use the definite article with the help of some examples. Okay, shall we start today's topic? Yes. What is the first of all, before we go into the details, we have to know how to pronounce this word THE. If the word THE comes before a word which begins with a vowel sound, we have to pronounce it like the. For example, the elephant, the eagle, like that. And similarly, if we wanted to give emphasis on a word which begins with a consonant sound, there also we have to pronounce the word THE as THEE, the. For example, he is the Prime Minister, the Prime Minister. That means none other than that person. So to give emphasis, he is the President of America. The President of America. That means that particular person. So when we have to give emphasis on a particular word, even though it begins with a consonant letter or sound, we have to pronounce THE as THEE, the. Similarly, if the word THE occurs or if it happens to be before a word beginning with a consonant sound, we have to pronounce it like the. So that is the pronunciation. Now let us go into the way we have to use this definite article THE. Where we have to use it? Yes, we have already seen that a or an, the indefinite article, is used before a singular countable noun. For example, a farmer, a teacher, a student, like this. When we use a singular countable noun for the first time, we use either a or an, depending upon the sound of the first sound of the beginning sound of that particular word. But when that singular countable noun is repeated, in place of that a or an, we have to use the. So that is the point that I would like to mention here. So what is the first point here? Where to use the first? Before a singular countable noun when it is repeated. For example, children saw a peacock in the zoo park. Children saw a peacock. So here peacock is a singular countable noun. So that's why, and moreover it is beginning with a consonant, the consonant sound of that's why we are using a before it. But in the second sentence, the peacock danced beautifully. The peacock. Why we have placed the before peacock, even though it is a singular countable noun? Because when we used the word peacock, the peacock for the first time, we have used a. But when it is repeated, when the same word is repeated, we have to use the peacock danced beautifully. And similarly, second example. Once there was a businessman. A businessman. Here, a businessman is a singular countable noun. That's why we have used a. Look at the second example, second sentence. People did not like the businessman. The businessman. Here, the word businessman, the noun phrase businessman is repeated. That's why we have to use the before it, not a. Look at the third sentence. An eagle came down and picked up Hansen. An eagle. For the first time, we are using this word, eagle. That's why we are using an. But when the same word is repeated, we have to use the before it. The eagle carried Hansen away. Like this, we have to remember this point. Second point. Before an adjective to make it a noun in the plural. Noun in the plural. So what is this? First of all, we have to discuss. Before an adjective to make it a noun in the plural. See, for example, words like rich, poor, bad, honest, wounded, blind. So these are all adjectives, we know. But when the is placed before such an adjective, it becomes a plural noun. It refers to a section of people who have that quality. For example, the rich should help the poor. The rich means rich is an adjective actually, but by placing the before it, we are referring to a particular group of rich people. So the rich becomes a plural noun because we have placed the before the adjective rich. The rich, that means a section of rich people, and they should help the poor. That means a group of poor people or a section of poor people. Similarly, we should stay away from the bad. The bad means a group of bad people or those people who are bad. So it becomes a plural noun by just placing the before this adjective bad. People respect the honest. The honest here also. The honest means people, those who are honest. Let's help the wounded. So wounded actually, it's an adjective. By just placing the before it, it becomes a plural noun. And it refers to a section of people who are wounded. Next, we must encourage the blind. The blind means a group of blind people or a section of blind people, for example. Next, let us go to the next point. Before a singular countable noun, when it represents a whole group of animals or things. This is a very important point here. Before a singular countable noun, when it represents a whole group of animals or things. For example, the kangaroo is a strange animal. The kangaroo is a strange animal. What does it mean? The kangaroo means not just a particular one that we are referring to. The kangaroo means it refers to all kangaroos. All kangaroos are strange animals. So, the is placed before a singular countable noun to refer to a whole group of animals or things. The parrot is a singing bird. The parrot is a singing bird means all parrots are singing birds, not any particular one or a specific one. Similarly, the rose is a beautiful flower. The rose, that means all roses are beautiful flowers, not just a particular one. The banyan tree gives shade. The banyan tree gives shade. What does it mean? All banyan trees give shade. And the dog is a faithful animal. It does not mean that only one dog is faithful and all other dogs are not. It refers to all dogs. All dogs are faithful animals. It means so. And while discussing this point, you should remember one more thing. That is, we are saying that the kangaroo, for example, by just placing the before a singular countable noun, we refer to a whole group of animals or things. Similarly, we can write the also. It is also correct. The kangaroo is a strange animal. That means all kangaroos are strange animals. Similarly, in place of the, we can use a also. A or an, depending upon the sound with which the word begins. For example, the kangaroo is a strange animal, and you can also say a kangaroo is a strange animal. Even if you say a kangaroo is a strange animal, it also means that all kangaroos are strange animals. But similarly, the parrot is a singing bird. You can also say the parrot, a parrot is also a singing bird. A parrot is a singing bird, you can say that one also. Similarly, same is the case with the rose, the banyan tree, the dog. Similarly, a rose, a banyan tree, a dog. That means all. Let us move on to the next point. The is used before superlative degrees of adjectives. So most commonly, we all know this point. First one, what is the longest river in India? The longest. Long, as we know, is the positive degree of the adjective, and longer comparative. The longest superlative. Longest is the superlative. That's why before this longest superlative, we are replacing this the longest, the shortest, the biggest, like this. Everest is the highest mountain, the highest, high, higher, highest. So this is the superlative degree of high, highest. That's why we are placing the before it. Next one. Ooty is the best place to spend in summer. Good, better, best. Good, better, best. So best is a superlative of good. That's why we are placing the before it to say that it is in superlative degree. Fourth one. Hyderabad is one of the most populous cities in India. Populous, positive degree, more populous, and the most populous. So most populous is the superlative degree of populous. That's why the is placed before it. So like this, we have to place superlative form of an adjective or an adverb before, and before it we have to place the. And next point. Before the names of holy books are epics. So this point is also very clear to all of us. For example, what are these holy books? For example, the Mahabharata. We all know that Mahabharata is a holy book. That's why we have to place the before it. So the Mahabharata is the longest, here also longest superlative degree. That's why the is placed. Is the longest epic ever written. And similarly, the Bible, it is also a holy book. That's why the Bible is a holy book for Christians. The Iliad, what is this Iliad? It is an epic written by Homer. So that's why before this one also we have to use the. The Iliad is an epic by Homer. Similarly, the Ramayana is written by Valmiki. So these are all holy books or epics. That's why before them we have to use the. And but we have to remember one thing here. When the writer's name comes before his book's name or his work, we should not use the. For example, we are saying the Iliad is an epic by Homer. The Iliad. This is the name of one holy book, no doubt. But when the writer's name, that means Homer's name comes first, we should not place the before this epic's name. For example, Homer's Iliad, but not Homer's the Iliad. We should not say like that. Homer's Iliad is an epic. Similarly, the Valmiki is written by Ramayana. This is okay, but when we start the sentence with Valmiki, what we have to say? Valmiki's Ramayana is a mythological work. Valmiki's Ramayana, but not Valmiki's the Ramayana, we should not say. So this is an exception to this rule. And let us move on to the next point. Before the names of rivers, seas, oceans, and mountain ranges. So this is another important point here. For example, before the rivers, names of rivers, seas, oceans, and mountain ranges, not individual mountains. Not individual mountains or mountain peaks. Only before mountain ranges. For example, the Ganges is the longest river in India. The Ganges. So Ganges, we know it is one of the rivers, perhaps the longest river in India. That's why we have to place the before it. The Ganges. Next one. The Arabian Sea lies on the west of India. So Arabian Sea is also the name of a big water body, a sea. That's why the Arabian Sea we should say. And Pacific is the biggest ocean. Pacific. So this is the name of an ocean. That's why we should say not Pacific, but the Pacific is the biggest ocean. And similarly, the Himalayas defend our country against enemies. The Himalayas. The Himalayas does not mean that does not mean an individual mountain. It's a group of mountains, chain of mountains, mountain ranges. That's why the Himalayas we should say. But where we have to avoid the before individual mountain peaks. We should avoid the before individual mountain peaks. For example, Everest is the highest peak in the world. We should not say the Everest because Everest, it is just a peak, the topmost point in the Himalayas. That's why Everest only, not the Everest. And Kilimanjaro is the highest mountain in the world. Kilimanjaro is also an individual mountain. It's not a group of mountains, range of mountains. That's why we should say Kilimanjaro only, not the Kilimanjaro. Next one, Mount Etna is the most active volcano in Europe. Mount Etna is also an individual mountain and it is the most active volcano in Europe. Like this, we can discuss the point. Next point. Before the names of unique things such as planets, geographical areas, and deserts. What are these? What is this point? What is in the point actually? Before the names of unique things such as planets, geographical areas, and deserts. For example, the earth is round. So the earth, we have only one earth, not more than one. A unique thing. Moreover, it is a planet. That's why the earth we should say. The sun, it is also one, a unique thing, a planet. That's why the sun. The moon is not self-luminescent. The sky is a natural roof. So these are all unique things, are things of single nature. That's why we have to use the before them. Next one. The equator, it's a geographical area. The equator is an imaginary line that divides the earth into two halves. The equator. So here also we have only one equator, not more than one. That's why it is also unique. That's why we have to use the before it. Next one. Amundsen was the first to reach the South Pole. So we have only two poles, the South Pole and the North Pole. That's why we have to use the before them, the South Pole, the North Pole. Like this we have to say. Similarly, the Thar Desert is also known as the Great Indian Desert. The Thar Desert. So Thar Desert, Thar is a desert actually in Rajasthan, India. That's why we have to place the before it. And here also, and what is the other name for the Thar Desert? The Great Indian Desert. So this is the other name. So before this other name of this Thar Desert also, we should place the, and where else should we use this the? Let us discuss. Before the names of inventions and musical instruments. For example, every day we watch TV. It's an invention by J.L. Baird. J.L. Baird invented the TV. Invented the TV. So TV is an invention by him. That's why we have to say the TV. Even today, some people listen to the radio. The radio. So it is also an invention. That's why we have to say the radio. Pandit Ravi Shankar plays on the sitar. What is this sitar? Sitar is a musical instrument. That's why before musical instruments also, we should use the. Next one. Can you play a song on the flute? The flute. So this is also a musical instrument. The computer has made a big difference in modern times. So life is unimaginable today without computer. So what we have to say, what we have to write before this word computer? The computer, because it is an invention, a scientific invention. That's why an invention. The computer has made a big difference in modern times. So like this, we can use the article the. Sometimes it is also called the. We have already discussed where to pronounce it as the and where to pronounce it as the. So let us recapitulate once where we have to use this article the. In the next part of the video, I am going to discuss some more points on the usage of the. First of all, what is the first point? Where we should use the before a singular countable noun when that noun is repeated. And where else? Before an adjective to make it a noun in plural. For example, the ditch, the poor, like that. And when we place the before the name of an animal or thing, it refers to a group of that animal or a group of that thing. For example, the kangaroo, the parrot, the rose. That means all kangaroos, all parrots, like this. And what is the exception here? We can use, in place of the, we can use a also, nothing wrong at all. And similarly, before superlative degrees, we use the definite article the. And before the names of holy books or epics, we use the. But when the writer's name comes before the name of a holy book or epic, we should not use the. For example, Homer's Iliad, not Homer's the Iliad. Valmiki's Ramayana, but not Valmiki's the Ramayana. So we should remember these things. And one more thing is, before the names of rivers, seas, oceans, and mountain ranges. So, next point. Before the names of unique things such as planets, geographical areas, and deserts. So, like this, we can use the or the before certain nouns. Okay. Friends, I will continue with the remaining points in my next video. If you like this video, do subscribe to my channel and do share this part of the video to your friends and students so that they may know how to use the definite article the. Okay, thank you all for viewing this video.